Question 361. Does religion do more harm than good?
Yes.
Yes, fucking yes.
We all know the answer to this.
Yeah.
Is there no disagreement?
Do you realise who you're talking to?
Talking to. Exactly.
Yes.
You
For
should have saved
atheists.
this to have somebody a
what's
Christian
happening?
one.
Does religion do more harm than good?
Some of them.
You think there are some religions that don't?
Yeah, why not?
Which religions don't?
The Thor one. Let's go with the Norse religion.
Yeah, no, that's a fail. Unfortunately, the Norse religion is connected to National Socialism, so that does a lot of harm.
Oh, fuck off.
No, it literally is. It literally is.
I expected more disagreement on this.
Definitely should have waited until there was a Christian on the panel.
Don't have Christians on the panel.
Paganism.
Paganism. Which version of paganism isn't really a religion?
Oh, fuck off. I would say Jedi, but as a Mandalorian, I fundamentally disagree with the Jedi.
I would say that there are beliefs that can't be harmful. But
Dave, say that again, it cut you off.
I'd say there are beliefs that might not be harmful.
Yeah,
I think once you get to definition of calling something a religion, I think you're very much tipping the scales the other way. I expected disagreement.
I think if you have something that can help you through bad times in your life as an individual, that can be a positive thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be religious based, and I would also prefer that it wasn't, obviously. But then obviously,
if there is something else available that can give the same result that doesn't require believing in a possibly false statement.
Agreed, but that might not work for everybody. I need to read through. I've got to read the chat quickly because there is some disagreement. Godless Scummer. We're there. Nerdy says yes next. Purple says yes next. Godless Scummer says unless it's dudism, then yes. Jen says depends on the religion and level of fundamentalism. Purple says some pagan religions have no effect on anything, so those are neutral. I'm not convinced they're neutral, not mostly because magical thinking in its own right can be considered harmful.
Yeah.
It can be considered, but I think isn't necessary.
No, it isn't necessarily, but what I'm saying is I'm not convinced it's neutral for that reason. Jen says you need me there for this one. You're not here.
Does it do more harm than good?
Yes.
So you could argue that people having a little bit of magical thinking, which can make people a lot happier, when you compare that against people having magical thinking in ways that is harmful, like no, I'm not going into that. Then it's more difficult, weighing up.
Yes. Nerdy says neo-heathenry. Jones says, what would the people go if there wasn't any religion? Where would the people go if there wasn't any religion anymore? Who would they follow? So that's an interesting question, because people do seem to want to follow, on the whole.
See, my question is can anyone think of a religion or a faith that embraces all accepted science and all consensus, sort of scientific consensus?
Disturbingly, right now, Catholicism.
What?
Catholicism.
How do you figure?
Catholicism accepts consensus science. Right? It does not. That doesn't mean to say it doesn't make shit up all the way around the stuff there's not consensus over, but it accepts the stuff we know, and then makes up a load of other stuff.
Even said he'd be happy to meet an alien.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to sell it on that, and I think there are other religions as well that will accept the scientific consensus. The problem is that there are lots of things we don't know, and religions are quite happy to fill those gaps up.
Can we get the Pope abducted by aliens?
Sure. I know some
I
Mexicans.
think that'd be.
I think he is an alien.
Right, wait
I
there.
think that'd be a fun story.
It would. I need to finish the thing to catch up. Jeff says, Bill, that's complete bullshit. Not all followers of Norse pagan religion are fucking Nazis. Seraphim says...
Sorry, say that again quickly.
Bill, that's complete bullshit. Not all followers of the Norse pagan religions are fucking Nazis.
I did not say all were. I did not say that all were at all. I just said that it had connections to, and that cannot be denied.
I will back Bill up there. He did not at all imply that all of them do that. He just said that, on balance, it may be more. It's a question.
It's
of balance
negative
whether,
because it influences negatively.
It's
Same
a
as
question
all
of
Muslims
whether,
aren't terrorists, but
it
doesn't mean Islam is good.
Yeah, no. The question is, are there any religions that don't do more harm than good? And you could argue whether the Norse religion does more harm than good due to certain people having those connections. I personally think it's probably a distinct minority, and most of them are just people who enjoy it.
Mm.
So,
I mean, we're quite lucky in this community that our contact with that group...
That's arguable.
Within our community, our contact with the Norse pagans within our community, they tend to be very much anti the white supremacist side of the Norse religions.
Yeah.
Go on.
I'm trying to think now. Give me 2 seconds to think. No, never mind.
Doesn't matter. I'll say no. I've forgotten what the damn question was. I'm going to say no because people need a structure. From Seraphim, Jen says no, I disagree. It's fundamentalism that's the problem. See, I'm not convinced it is fundamentalism that's the problem. I mean, fundamentalism is a huge problem, but I'm not convinced that's the issue. Go on.
Sorry, I've just remembered. Ask Ocean.
Yes.
You ask Ocean, and he says it's a massive, massive problem, and has been a massive problem within the Norse religion.
And that doesn't mean it's widespread.
Problem.
He says it's a massive problem, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's widespread. It's just that it's a problem they have to face.
I didn't say it was.
Fair enough.
If you combine that with the fact that it's magical thinking, that adds up to more harm than good, unarguably.
There you go. That's what Jeff just said. See, this is the problem with me not catching up. Jeff says Nazi elements of the Norse religion are a tiny but vocal minority. Tony says religion is like masturbation. Do it in private and clean up afterwards. Purple says not all pagans believe in magic. Do they not?
Don't tell me to clean up.
No, well, there's atheo-pagans, aren't there?
Seraphim, which answer was skipped? I may have missed it. No, Jen, sorry, you misunderstand me. There is lots of science that Catholics as a whole don't accept, but the Catholic Church will accept it. I kept looking up as to lots of Catholics on evolution and on things like that, and a lot of the Church doesn't accept evolution, but the Church does.
All right, let me ask you this, Dave.
Yeah.
And anyone else while we're here. Do you consider...
Start again!
Do you consider people who follow the traditions of a religion but don't necessarily believe its claims to be members of that religion? For example, atheo-pagans or people who go to church because it's tradition but don't actually believe anything.
I think it depends on the person. I think it depends what they think and their community within that context.
Yeah, but my question is, do you consider them part of a religion?
I still consider them complicit.
I consider them complicit, but I wouldn't necessarily consider them part of the religion. I consider them it's a cultural thing at that point.
The wording you're using, part of the religion, I would have to say yes. practicing the religion. Oh, yeah, I think it's just a bit of a semantics thing with the language, because you could say they're not practicing, but they are practicing. They're doing the practicing, but they're not believing. Do you have to believe to be practicing a religion? I would say no, because I believe a large portion of air quote religious people don't believe.
Yes.
And are too afraid to speak out, or in countries where they can't.
I need to apologise to Jen. She's right. The Catholic Church has completely fucking ignored an awful lot of the stuff to do with transgender and sexuality, or gender and sexuality, and it also occurs to me that they've also skipped an awful lot of psychology now. This is what I get from only looking at it from a physics and chemistry point of view. Right,
Dave, you silly.
Well. Right. So I'm gonna try and move on and dab you all for a yes/no answer. There we go. More
What was
harm
the
than
question?
good.
Yes.
More harm.
Can we have the rest of the question?
Sorry. Does religion do more harm than good?
Oh, I'm gonna say many do.
Very good answer.
Yes.
MathPig.
Yes.
Sammy.
Yeah.
Manda.
I said yes.
Very good. If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day, and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.